What is going on, everybody? Just give me 1 second, let people join up, and I'm sending out all the alerts here. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Did you guys have fun and at least get some studying in? Alright, after going over last week's notes, so I try to compare and see stocks that were moving last week and go over them on the weekend to see how they performed and to see if they're worth keeping an eye on. So let's see, tomorrow is the 17th, so Monday, 9-17. I just created a watch or a scanner yesterday with trade ideas, a pot scanner to keep an eye on the pot stocks. I got a couple that I've searched and looked through that caught my eye and I want to kind of have attention on, just keep an eye on, and one of them is INSY and XXII. So I got 5 of them here on my watch list, but first let's go over the overall market and see how it performed last week. So this top one right here is the SPY. This bottom one is the NASDAQ, and this is the index. You want to compare the index. You always want to look at the index and see how the overall market is doing, because 3 out of the 4 stocks follow the overall market. So I can see here the SPY on the daily. This is the daily here. So every candle is 1 day. Going back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 2 weeks ago, we had a pullback right here. And then last week, it looks like we had a rise up in price. And the market closed Friday pretty much right near its highs. It didn't make new highs. And it's got a hanging man right here at the very top. So we could be seeing a pullback Monday. And then on the NASDAQ here, it broke out of this pattern right here that I had set up, dropped below the 50-day, and now pretty much the only thing it has left is this 200-day moving average right here to drop down to. So we could be seeing a good pullback on the NASDAQ. You can see here, it loves pulling back and touching it. But after it touched right here, we had a very, very nice run up right here, making new highs. It just looks like it's very, very toppy. We got a triple top right here. Here, here, and here. And it does look like it broke to a new high each time, but it's very, very little that it broke out. So we could be near the top in the market, my honest opinion. And then if you look at this one right here, we make it bigger. So this is the previous 5 days of the NASDAQ. You can see how it's very toppy right here. and then we just collapsed down. And then it started to go sideways. We got a double top again, and then it collapsed even more. So the NASDAQ overall is looking pretty weak. And I like to look at the NASDAQ in the 5-minute time frame, because when looking at indexes, they're longer term. So I don't want to look at the 1 minute or the 3 minute. 5 minute, 15 minute, or the hourly on the index to get a general idea of where the market is heading. But that's why every morning I wake up and I look at the futures. Are the futures red or are the futures green? If the futures are green, it's looking like a sunny day in the market. If the futures are red, it's looking like a rainy day in the market. Because 3 out of the 4 stocks follow the overall market. And you see here on the SPY, I had this trend line going down connecting the lower highs. And then come here on the 10th, it gapped up above this trend line, and then it acted as support. And then it just broke out to new highs. And you can see right here, when I zoomed out this daily on the NASDAQ, let me put a support line. Right here where the old high was at the beginning of the year on January 26th, draw that line there. It acted as resistance when it came up to here, pulled back, then it finally broke through it, and then recently it pulled back, and now that old resistance is acting as support. You can see right there, it bounced right off it and started trending up. So that's an overview of the overall market. Now let's get into some stocks I want to keep an eye on. INSY is one of them. This is just quick pot stocks that I want to keep an eye on. That's all. So if I switch to the daily chart real quick, switch into the daily chart right here, I see it has a history of spiking and trending up, even right here. And with the pot sector heating up and everybody focusing on the pot sector, INSY is a low float pot stock. And you could see here, we got it's above the 50 and the 200 day, and the 200 day and the 50 day, if you look at it, is starting to curve upwards. So I'm going to start looking for this to try to hold above 850 and start trending up. And if I look at this on the weekly, let's see if there's any upward resistance. It's still above. On the weekly, it's still above the 50 day, but we have the 200 day up here, but that's way up there at 16. And let's see where this is at on the monthly. On the monthly, we got, again, the 200 days way up there, and the 50 days at 1650. So we're looking good, and it's above the 13 EMA. But switching back real quick to this one. So I zoom out here, the previous 3 minutes. This is the previous 5 days. So I already drew the resistance line up here at 880. And then it's looking like it's having support here at 830. So it's in this range currently right now. From 830 up to 860 and 880. So I want to see if this support here at 830 holds. So I'm going to write that down. Let me see real quick on the 65 minute. So INSY, I said 830 support. And resistance. I got resistance at 860 and 880. And like I said, it's a low float. Or you could wait for it to break out of this range and start testing $9. Because once it breaks out of this range, it's got a lot of room to run. It really does. As soon as it gets above $9, next resistance is $10.80. So if it gets above $9, it might have some resistance at $9.50, but other than that, all I see on the daily chart, the next resistance is $10.50. So this does have room to run. And then next up, we got XXII. That caught my eye. This is the 3-minute chart right here. Let's switch to the 65-minute. So the 65-minute here, we got support now holding at 250, with this being the old resistance right here, a lot of resistance right here as it consolidated, and now it's acting as support. I really wouldn't want to get interested in this until it breaks above $3, to be honest with you. Let's bring up the daily chart. So this is the daily right here. Let me zoom in on this. This is XXII. If I look at pull out the previous history, this does like to move. And traders do remember this stock. And what I really like about this is how it's forming this squeeze right here. The 50 is just below the 200, and all we need is this 50-day to start moving up and cross over this 200-day to get a nice little pop. So that's what I am going to be looking for. This is creating a beautiful squeeze right here with resistance at $3. So I'm going to draw a resistance line here at 3. And then once it gets over, if it gets over 3, that's when we could start seeing attention into XXII. Because after it gets over 3, it doesn't have resistance till 350. And then we got the high up here at 450. $4. So it looks like it's setting its up pretty nicely. And we got a hammer right there at the bottom. So this hammer with the long wick, what it's doing, when it has a long wick like that, at the bottom of where our support is, price is getting rejected at this lower area, and the bulls brought it right back up. I'm just really liking this 50 and the 200-day right here, how tight they are, and it's just setting itself up for a squeeze, like I said. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this, and this is what traders look for. Real quick, let's just see what this looks like on the weekly and monthly. So the weekly here, this is the weekly, like I said. See how on the weekly we come up to this $3 right here, and you see these long wicks and how the price hasn't really been in this area and where it's been getting stuffed at $3. This is the area I said if it crosses over 3 could bring in attention from other traders, because after it crosses over 3 it doesn't really have any resistance till 350, 375, $4, and then the high up here at 450. And then we got a high way back here, but this is way back in 2014, 4 years ago. And look at that. On the weekly, the 50 moving average is at 250. Let's see the monthly. Now, so you see this is the monthly. So this monthly is looking pretty good. So I'm actually going to add XXII to my main watch list, I think. And the volume's been averaging about 1.5 million every single day. So there are people trading this actively. So let me add that. What else we got? We got NUGS, NUGS, that I recently added. And NUGS is pretty much right near its highs. And I simply found these just by doing a sector scan on the pot stocks, running through all the tickers and picking out the ones that interested me the most. So we see here on the daily, we got highs back here, but that was back in 2006. It hasn't been in this area here, $4. It did hit it here, but then it quickly failed. But the last time it's done that was 2006, over 12 years ago. So, zoom in on this. What do we got here? Prices coming up to the high here at 737. That's $3 away. It looks like this is starting to form upwards and making higher lows. So I want to put let's see. I want to draw a line right here. And then I want to draw another line right here connecting the lows. This is forming an up wedge. So I want to see if the support keeps holding on this trend line right here, forming this pattern, making higher lows, and maybe it'll test the $6 area. It's got room to go up. So the volume is 50,000, 215, 32. So not many people are trading this. It's got like an average of 50,000 in volume. So NUGS needs like a news press release or something to come along. Even right here, you see a somewhat of a wedge forming on this. You can see a triangle right here. This is on the 65-minute chart. Let's see the 15-minute. Real quick, let me see what's on the monthly or the weekly. And then the monthly. Okay. See, this is why it's always good to look at this in multiple time frames. I see decrease in buying right here, but then I see a lot of buying right here. 4.5 million, but this is the monthly chart. So on an average, was like 1 million every week in volume during the month of August. That's why I got nugs on my pot stock little watch list here. I'm curious to see what it does. And then CNBX. CNBX broke out Friday. So it came out with news. CanUp right here. Let me bring you guys back over. There we go. So we got news right here that Cannabis Pharmaceuticals receives positive results in the development of a cannabinoid anti-cancer drugs. So a keyword there, well, a few keywords there. We got positive results, and they received positive results. Those are great words right there. And cancer, anti-cancer. That's going to attract attention. CNBX. Let's see what the float is on CNBX. See, we got the average volume is 256,000. The volume on Friday was 5 million. Let's go to the statistics. The float is 32 million. Had a nice, great move up. It broke through the 50-day. It broke through the 200-day. No problem. Big, tall, green candle. It's looking good. I like it. That's why it's on my watch list. Let's go to the summary here. So this was 2 days ago. Let's open up this story. And this is what you got to do every weekend. Every day. Every day, every weekend. You want to go through, read these press releases, and prep yourself and prepare for the upcoming week. If you're not prepared, you're only hurting yourself. I keep looking away. I got the game going on in the background. So let's take a look at this. We got Cannabis Pharmaceuticals, a leader in personalized cannabinoid medicine focused on cancer and its side effects. Today, it announced it has received encouraging results in its proclaimed study showing one of its proprietary cannabinoid compounds causing higher rate of cancer cell death compared to traditional chemotherapy, whatever that is. So they give you a picture of what's going on. Cannabis is rapidly expanding its database of cancer and cannabinoids and established a library of cannabinoid compounds to explore the biological versatility and entourage effects. Recently, the company has begun granted a patient So they got great news about this anti-cancer drug. So this is definitely going to be on watch Monday. And if anybody wants this link, I'll copy it, paste it right in here. Boom. There you go. So there you go. Look at that. This is how we prepare for the upcoming week. So CNBX. What did we say the float was on this? 36 million? $32 million. So 33 million float on this. And it was one of the top percentage gainers. This is probably going to gap up Friday or Monday. Watch. So let's see the weekly here. And then the monthly. Okay, it's got $2 resistance. But it's near its all-time. No, it's not. So it's going to have resistance at $2 that might act as support. It all depends on where this gaps up. So I'm liking keeping an eye on CNBX, but I got to be careful with this on Monday because a lot of traders are probably swinging this over the weekend. It had 5 million in volume. So a lot of traders are swinging this over the weekend for the gap up. I'm looking Monday morning, probably more than likely it's going to gap up. What I want to look for Monday is a morning panic sell, people taking profits, and then from there start trending back up. So let's look at the daily on this. This is the intraday right here. This is the 15 minutes. So you can see it had a nice morning move, and then it consolidated lunch hours, and then through power hour it had this move up. People wanted to buy in and hold it over the weekend. See the 3-minute here. There you go. 83 cents, pops up to 120, pulls back to this dollar level. This was a perfect play Friday, and then consolidated right at $1, and then coming up to power hour. Coming into power hour, makes a run up to $1.30. So we got resistance here at, I'm going to say good support at 125. No, I'll say 120. And then support here at $1 even. CNBX. I'm going to also add this to my weekly watch list. So we got CNBX that a lot of traders are probably holding over the weekend for a gap up. and also MYSZ, as it was stuck in this range all day with news. I'm guessing this is probably going to gap up. From my history of knowing MYSZ, whenever they like to release news on Friday, and it always likes to gap up on Mondays, from my experience of remembering this ticker. Let's go back to the pot stocks real quick. The last one we got is Kron. Kron, I feel like, is just overplayed. Everybody and their mother played this. And it still could have a comeback, but I just don't like the daily chart on this. It's just too choppy and messy and way too much. There's probably so many bag holders in on this, hoping for it to come back up so they can get out of their position. I don't want nothing to do with it. Let me show you real quick this daily chart. You can see it right here. Look at all that choppiness. Gapping up and up and up and up and up, and then falling down from everybody selling, and then gapping up, and then just curling down like that. You gotta look back and think, out of the 2 times it spiked up here and spiked up here, how many people did it trap and they're bag holding it now. And I don't want to be that person that's trying to buy it on the move up and have these bag holders be selling on me, and stopping me from making profit. There's other opportunities out there. So that's why I added XXII and CNBX as my other pot stocks to watch. My personal opinion, Kron's done for. It's just been played out. Alright, so now I got up, let me pull this over. Bring this back over, transition. So this is the NASDAQ.com. Let me do something real quick. There we go. So this is the NASDAQ.com, and I'm just going on this to look at the earnings calendar, see what's coming up, see if there's any new IPOs worth keeping an eye on. You gotta do this I do this every single weekend. I always want to be prepared for the upcoming week. I don't want something to pop up on me and be like, oh man. So this is the earnings. I go to the NASDAQ.com, I go to markets, and then they have stocks right here. So you can do sector analysis, earnings calendar, IPO summary, new SEC filings, upcoming splits, 52-week high lows, unusual volume, and most active. Click on the earnings calendar, and I'll just run through here, and I'll look at the where is it at? The market cap on it. So I want to see a low market cap for a penny stock, pretty much. I know all these are going to be high price stocks because, like ORCL, it's got a market cap of 194 billion. I know that's going to be a high price stock. So just to prove it, ORCL. See, ORCL is going for $50. go to September 18th, which is Tuesday. We got APOG. That's at 1 billion. Let's see what APOG's at. $50 again. Wednesday, nothing. Thursday right here, nothing. And then nothing going on Friday. See what I'm saying about Fridays? Companies don't release nothing on Fridays. No earnings, no news really. There's really no volume in the market, so that's why I don't trade on Fridays. Fridays, you have more of a risk. But crazy things can happen on Fridays. Now let's go to IPO summary. Let's see if there's any upcoming new IPOs coming out. So we had NIO last week. That opened at 626. And that went on a very nice run. NIO. So I'm going to add NIO to my weekly watch list. Momentum can easily come back into this at any time. But this thing traded outrageous volume on Thursday. Well, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday, it traded 66 million in volume. Thursday, it traded 158 million in volume. Friday, it traded 172 million in volume. That's crazy. What else we got? We got all these were released. View all latest IPOs. All these were released last week. GRSHU. Real quick, I'm just typing these in real quick. CCCU. Okay. I don't see anything that's worth keeping an eye on with besides NIO. Momentum can come back into that. So I want to see upcoming IPOs. Let's see. They really make this right here hard to see. So let me just highlight it. So we got expected IPO date. This is what I want to see. QTT. See, QTT opened on Friday, and this moved up from $9 up to a high of $20. Wow, 17 million in volume. So QTT, we're going to keep an eye on that Monday and see what it does as well. Let's see what else we got. On the 19th, XYF is coming out on the New York Stock Exchange. priced at around $9 to $11. So upcoming, I'm going to write down upcoming new IPOs. XYF. Expected open price $9 to $11. What else we got? VIOT, but that's not until the 25th. So it's not really worth anything keeping an eye on that. XYF. All right, let's go back. So I got right here, IPO performance, 5 best, worst IPO performers in the past 6 months. SSLJ is the worst. Let's see what that did. Yeah, it took a big dump. Let me show you real quick. Look at that. I remember when it had this pop and run up here too. I think I got, yeah, I made $800 on that pop right there. I didn't get in on this. I bought it at the end of the day, and I held it over the weekend, and it gapped up to 221. Yep, I remember this. And then I sold before the market opened, and I missed out on it running up to $3. But hey, profit's profit. I like to take profit because you're never guaranteed your profit until you lock it in. Right beside SSLJ is, what is that? PIC. One second. I'm getting Twitter messages about something. So it looks like what, Stephen Dux has been falsifying his P&Ls. If you don't know who Stephen Dux is, he's one of Tim Sykes' Trading Challenge students, I guess. The what is it, the Korean guy? Let me switch this back over real quick. Yeah, not to spread rumors or anything, but this is right here. This is the guy I keep getting Twitter messages about. This guy right here. So I'm getting tweets. Members of Stephen Duck's service has been emailing Modern Rock to expose his sketchy ways. I do not look for this. These came from his members who caught him supposedly defrauding suspects buying fake Instagram followers 20K overnight. Ah, okay. I don't know. It's just drama. That's why you gotta be cautious about following these trading gurus. There's a lot of fake ones out there that just want your money. You know, I don't charge for anything that I do. I just openly want to share my experience. But then you get people in that want to be greedy and want to try to take advantage of vulnerable people. It's not right. But going back to this, the only IPO that's upcoming that I want to see, it's upcoming when did on 9/11. No. When is it coming out? It is ticker XYF, coming out on the 19th. So Wednesday is when I'll be keeping an eye out for that. And I'll write that down. And also going to be keeping an eye on NIO and QTT. QTT opened Friday. And QTT ran from $9 up to $20. There's no upcoming earnings that's worth keeping an eye on, in my opinion, because they're all high priced. As I like to trade penny stocks, I like to look for stocks under $20. And we got our pot stocks that we're going to be keeping an eye on. Let's look at upcoming splits. Okay, UVXY, that's an ETF doing a 1-for-5 split on the 18th. So they're going to do a 1-for-5 split. It's going to bring it back up to 7, 14, 21, 28, around $40. So that's something to keep note of. What else we got? That's October 5th, October 2nd. NVCN, a 1-for-100 reverse split. Okay, NVCN. Real quick, let's see what Yahoo Finance. NVCN. I just want to see what the float is on this. The float is 1.5 billion. So, yeah, no thanks. What else we got? September 21st, we got NVCP. There's no data on it. Arrow. This is at $38. This is doing a reverse or a split as well. It doesn't say what type of split it's going to be doing. SVXY, another ETF doing a 1-for-4 split. Let's see what the 6 month is on this. Let me just write that down. SVXY on the 18th, doing a 1-for-4 split. Upcoming splits. SVXY on 9/18. Currently at 1450. Doing a 1-for-4. And then UVXY on the 18th as well. Doing a 1-for-5 split. Currently at 766. I'll just say 750. So upcoming new IPOs, XYF, expected to open at $9 to $11 on Wednesday. Upcoming splits, just 2 inverses that I want to see right now. UVXY and SVXY. Both inverse ETFs. And then we got VGR here. What is VGR on Yahoo Finance? VGR's float is 92 million. So real quick, let's see VGR on the chart real quick. I just want to see if there's any big spikes on VGR. So we zoom out on this. I'm not really seeing nothing. So my guess is they're going to do a split to bring it up higher. So not really worth keeping an eye on, in my opinion. I don't see any big volatile days on this. I see a lot of sideways action. Going back years and years. All the way back to 1997. Alright, let's go to 52-week high-low. One second, I'm getting another. Oh, it's been deleted already. Huh. Yeah, so I just be careful who you start to follow. So Stephen Ducks being accused hard of fraud or he's paying like Facebook ads and Google ads to get more followers to sell his get-rich-quick scheme. I did think it was pretty odd though, like out of nowhere, this dude's making millions of dollars from short selling and he was only trading for a year. And it was just out of nowhere. He just popped up. And then Timothy Sykes took advantage and said, "You're my student. You're my top student." Crazy. Yeah, and then he started promoting himself hard. Like he'd post all these pictures with his Bugatti, or was it a Bugatti or Lamborghini? Dressed up all nice, eating at fancy restaurants, sitting at a nice desk. I don't know. It's crazy. But these are new 52-week high, 52-week lows. So let's see here. TPNL. This hit a new high at 463. Previous high was 450. Let's just check it out real quick. TPNL. Okay. Looking at the daily chart here, this is a steady, steady, steady grind up, 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 up. Look at the buying right here. The last 5 days. You see that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's not like in the millions though. It's only 430,000, 385,000, 300,000, 338,000. So not much really. Watch the float on this be huge. TPNL. Let's see. TPNL. Float's 20 million. If the float's only 20 million, this should be moving a lot more, I think. $1.50 move right there. Watch on Monday this dump off. TPNL. This has no news. See, look at that, just that gradual climb. I'm just going to add it to the back burner. TPNL. What else we got? AFIN at 16. Had a nice good high break right there. The previous high, it looks like, was 16. Oh, okay. I thought it was 1608. So a 5-cent new high. Whoop-de-doo. We got CSBR here hitting a new high. Broke a new high up $1. CSBR. Let's see. Look at that. Right at the morning has a panic from $11, goes all the way down to $8.69, $8.70. Comes right back up, U-shapes around, $9.20, all the way up to $11.20. Wow. Look at that big, huge hanging man right there. You guys can't see the daily chart. Hold on. Look at that. Gaps up. So goes down, has a morning panic right here. Look at that. From $11, panics all the way down to $8.68. And then comes back up, forms a base here at 920, starts to U-shape up. You do get a big dip right here from 1012. all the way down to 920. That's a big dip right there. Comes back, just totally disregards the VWAP. And these are big volatile moves right here. Look at that. One candle, 1115 to 980. And this is on the 3-minute. Let's see what the 1-minute looks like. Even on the 1-minute, big volatile moves. How much volume did this? 1.9 million in volume. This has to be a low float. CSBR. No. CSBR. Statistics. Float not available. Shares outstanding not available. Wow. Average volume is 100,000. Back burner for sure. CSBR. It just released earnings too. Let's see. Champions Oncology achieves quarterly growth of 23% in revenue and 177% in income from operations. So it's an earnings winner. CSBR. Add this to the earnings. Breaking out, making new highs at 52 weeks. Going all the way back. This is making new highs, period. Going back all the way to 2015. It's a multi-year breakout. So I'd look for continuation most definitely on this, but I want to be careful with this because it's showing you right here that it's very volatile. Very volatile. Alright, going back real quick. What else we got? And this is the new 52-week highs, 52-week lows. So we got VTNR right here. And this is what you do every single weekend, every single day to prepare yourself. Not a lot of people want to do this and put the time in to do research. You got to. You want to be prepared. And this is where you get your big paydays. Right here, doing the research and preparing yourself to get that $2,000 payday, $3,000, $4,000, $10,000 payday. Because you've earned it. VTNR. VTNR. Doesn't look too volatile here on the intraday. It looks like a barcode stock. Barcode stock. That's what a barcode stock is. I don't want nothing to do with the barcode stock. Yeah, not interested. Let's see what else we got. New SEC filings. Let's check that out real quick. I think I heard of Love before. Yeah. If you've ever looked at one of these SEC filings, it's crazy. Watch. They are so long. Look at all that. There's a DVD out by Timothy Sykes and Michael Good, How to Read SEC Filings, what to look for in these. I still have yet to watch it. The Crypto Company. From the period from March 9th, 2017 through December 31st, 2017. So this is an old one. Let's go to unusual volume. Nothing really in my price range. Down on unusual volume. Nothing that interests me. Real quick, I want to go back to the 50-week high-low. Let's look at the 52-week lows. Let's see what's popping off. AMDA. Just a really horrible looking chart. ATOS. Looks like they met all objectives in phase 1 study. So this is one of those pharmaceuticals. I don't really like pharmaceuticals too much. They're a world of their own. CLRB. Ugly looking chart. FPay. Took a big nosedive. No news. Elway, Lifeway Foods. This is why I really don't pay attention to stocks making new highs. No one's really paying attention to stocks making new highs. And LNK. The only time I'll pay attention to something making new lows is the only time I'll look at something that's making new lows if it's like a dramatic drop, like from 30, 50 or above, you know, $10 above, and it just has like a $10, $20 just huge drop, like a 50% drop. That's when I'll pay attention to something. Because you could always get like a dead cat bounce out of something like that. Let's go to most active. KNDI. Let's look at KNDI real quick. This is the 65-minute chart going from $4 up to $5.25. Let's look at the 3-minute. Let's see. Okay, this is the person that bought a lot of shares of the company. And I'll make it bigger right here. Where is it at? I think this is it. Right here. So it was like the chairman and the executive bought inside shares, and he got his shares at $3.80. He bought 27,000, and he now owns 1.3 million shares of his company. That's a huge investment. Huge. But in his eyes, he's probably a multi-billionaire. This is just chunk change to him. 1.3 million in shares, and the price is at almost $4. You know, he's got 5 million wrapped up into this. And this is the SEC filing right here. Wow. See, he's the 10% owner, he's the director, and he's the officer. Wow. That's why I had this move up here. He got in right here at 380. Stock spikes all the way up to a high of 525. So weekly watch list. I'll put this on the back burner. KNDI. What's the flow on KNDI? Float is 37 million. So you got insider buying. He owns a lot of shares of this company. I couldn't believe that. Going back to this real quick. Condai Technologies Group. 27,000 shares at $3.80, and now he now owns 1.3 million shares. I don't want to be around when he decides to dump those 1.3 million shares. So if he's buying, that's good news, you know, in a way, because something in the future could be up and coming, good news or something. So, and he bought 27,000, and he's now owns 1.3 million. So I'm gonna write this down. KNDI, insider buying, possible news in the future. So KNDI, we said the float was like 38 million, I believe. Yep, 37 million. He now owns 1.3 million shares. So I wrote all that down and I added it to the back burner. Let's see, we can exit out of that, bring back up the, did I exit out the NASDAQ thing? Yeah. Just go back to this real quick. Go back, where were we at? We were at most active. So the NASDAQ this week, new highs, we had 152 stocks made new highs. And then we had 77 stocks make new lows. Or that was today. So Friday, I'm sorry. FTDRV. Let me type that in, FTDRV. Okay, this looks like a new IPO. Nothing I want to keep an eye on. That ain't nothing. FEIM. FEIM's at $9.20. Just no volume, nothing going into it, so I have no point in looking at it. And let's go down here and see what the most active was. OPK Health down 14%. OPK. Dang, look at that drop. This is the hourly chart going from 575 down to 375. What happened here? Looks like an investigation. So we got shareholder alert. Investigates claims on behalf of investors, OPKO Health. Shareholder lawsuit. SEC lawsuit. The chairman, chief executive, Frost denies wrongdoing in SEC fraud suit. I'd look for OPK to have a nice bounce to it. See, it had 28 million in volume and 17 million in volume the previous 2 days. It had this drop. Let's see here. Pull up the 8K. Right here. Issued a press release regarding the NASDAQ stock market, resumption of trading in OPK common stock, a common press release, and furnished an exhibit, current report Form 8, incorporate reference the information included in this. So it got halted. It got halted on September 7th and reopened on the 14th, which was Friday. So going back right here, let's go to the 3-minute. You can see right here, I got the date right here. Make this a little bigger. I got the date right here. Watch when I go across. So we got, this is the 3-minute. We got the 7th right here, started to rally up, and then it got halted at 460, halted for 7 days, and then it reopened, gap down to $4, and then ran up to 450 again, and then dropped. Excuse me. Back to the 65-minute. See, these halts are scary. That's why you always want to watch yourself in these. This is the daily chart on it. You could just see some nasty drops on this right here, right here, 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 here. I'm seeing a lot of nasty drops on this, even right here. Look at that. So this ticker is known for having big drops and bad news happening to it. So OPK, I'd put in big bold letters, stay away. SEC could halt it at any time as well. Hey El Toro, you missed a lot of the show, man. We've been going now for an hour and a half. We'll probably have to go back through and watch this. We're just creating the watch list for the upcoming week. You know, I'm going to add OPK to the back burner. That's what I'm going to do. Let me pull this back up. Back burner, OPK. I'm also going to put a note on this as well. SEC halt, bad news, stay away. There we go. Back to the NASDAQ.com. We can exit out of that, and moving on. Then we got Cron. We went over Cron already. QTT. SI. Oh, Sirius XM Radio. That's a garbage company. That's it for the volatile stocks. I'm just excited to see the press releases and seeing what's going to be coming out tomorrow during pre-market. I don't want to make my watch list too big, as I haven't already enough on there already. That's good, El Toro. Hanging out with the family is always good. But going to the NASDAQ.com is a very useful and helpful tool. You know, you get to see what, and that's normally what I trade, is the NASDAQ stocks. I don't really trade OTC. I don't trade the New York Stock Exchange or Amex. And if you haven't noticed, I was just talking earlier, El Toro. I kept getting a lot of tweets from a good trader, Modern Rock, if you don't know him. But he just put out there that I know you know who Steven Dux is. He just put it out that he's a fraud. So he's buying his followers and stuff, and I showed it recently. This dude right here, one of Tim Sykes' students, he's been buying all of his followers and selling his get-rich scheme. So Modern Rock just put him on blast, and yeah, putting him out there. I always thought something was fishy with this guy, like I said. It was just weird how he popped up out of nowhere and he was a millionaire. And he was talking, he was only trading for a year and he's making $40,000 a trade, $60,000 a trade, $180,000 a trade. And it's like, get out of here, dude. You've only been doing this for a year and you're doing that. Then he comes out with a DVD. I don't know. That's why I say you got to be careful with who you follow. There are a lot of furus out there that just want your money, you know, but there's a lot of great information out there for free. There really is. They're just out there to take the easy money. Because there's just a lot of vulnerable people out there. But going over the NASDAQ.com, this is what I pretty much do every single week to prepare for the week. I go to the markets here. I go down to these little summaries here. I go down and I look at IPO summary. I look to see what upcoming IPOs are coming out this week. Any of them that interest me, I'll write them down and put the date they're coming out. And then I'll go to upcoming splits. Any stocks that interest me that are having a split upcoming this week, I'll write them down. And I'll go to the earnings calendar. And I'll go through and see if any of the earnings that interest me have upcoming earnings this whole week. If any of them interest me, I'll write it down. There's all kinds of great valuable stuff on this website that I use every single weekend to prepare myself. And then I look at stocks making new 52-week high and new 52-week lows. And it lists them all right here. And it's available all for free. And then you got the most active stocks, what we just went over. And that's about it. And then I might go to like finviz.com. I'll just do it real quick. But I highly recommend El Toro going back and watching this whole live stream after I'm done. I got a lot of really great stuff I presented in this video. Going back and forth to Yahoo Finance, typing in the ticker at the top, and just looking what the float is and looking at some of the fundamentals on it. I always like to see what the float and the shares outstanding are. I like to see what the average volume of the previous 3 months and the 10 days were. And then you go to the summary here, see if there was any news releases that came out. Look at some of the data right here, and then just look at this chart and compare the chart with my chart on my platform. I recommend looking at Yahoo Finance every single morning to look at the futures to see if they're up and down. So real quick, go to FINVIZ. So we already got MYSZ on our list. CSBR, we went over, I got on my list. KNDI, I got on the back burner. FEIM. Let's check out FEIM real quick. I think I went over it already. Yep, it just didn't interest me because it doesn't have any volume. Let's see, it had 121,000 in volume Friday, going from 780 up to almost $10, so I'm not interested. Let's see, CIFS, we seen it's up too much, and then we got new highs here. Pretty much, we already went over all this stuff on the NASDAQ website. Is it the same to do that homework on a Friday or a Sunday for the next week? Yup. I'll do it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know, and all you really need to do is do it once. But what I like to do is I go to work Friday, I get out of work, I come home, I see what the market did, and all I do pretty much Friday and Saturday is I look at charts. I try to look at as many charts as I can. I go off and I look, see, during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm always writing down. I got a notebook and I got a pen. So every morning pre-market, I'll write down stocks that are gapping up that I like. And then when the market opens, I'll write down stocks that are performing well that I like. And then Tuesday, I do the same thing. And then also at the end of the day, I'll write down the biggest percentage gainers. That way on a Friday and Saturday, I can break out my notebook. Here, let me show you real quick. Right here. There I am. Make me a little bit bigger. So I got a notebook right here. I highly recommend getting a notebook and a lot of pens. Every single morning, stocks are gapping up pre-market, I write them down. I write down the biggest percentage gainers every day, and I write notes that come into my head during the week about the market strength, about what a ticker does. I got a page right here of all the stocks that performed well this week. And then during Friday and Saturday, I just go over what I wrote down through the whole week and just look at the charts and analyze the chart and see how the stock performed. Look at the price levels that it was struggling at. Look at support levels, resistance levels, volume. So all this week we had NLST. So I pull that up. This would be on like a Friday. And I'll go back and I'll just see how it performed through the week on the 65-minute chart, the 15-minute, the 5-minute, 3-minute, and the 1-minute. So I can clearly see it came up, it fell down, and then it fizzled out. Volume just simply left it. And then AGRX was another one. And then I'll go back and I'll see if there's any notes for that stock that I wrote down. Same thing with NLST. It went up, comes down, and then it fizzled out. The volume left it. And I'll do that Friday and Saturday, just looking at charts over and over again. And then if I see something I like, I'll take a screenshot of the chart and I'll save it to a file. So I have a file. Let me see. Right here. I have a file right here. It's labeled September charts. So all of September, I take screenshots of charts that interest me the most. And then I'll also sit down and I'll go through all the charts so far in September that I've liked, and I'll run through them and I'll see if there's a consistent pattern that keeps popping up. And then about halfway through the month, I'll notice and see a pattern that keeps happening over and over and over again. And I'll also run it as my desktop background. As you can see, it's running in my back room right now. So I have 3 monitors. I have all these charts on like a slideshow running through this folder, posting all of the pictures that I took. So these are all the stocks that spiked so far in September this month. And so far you can see a consistent pattern that keeps happening. What do you see? I simply see grinding up or grinding down. So we're possibly in a slow grinding month right here, where stocks just slowly grind up all day or slowly decline all day. Or they'll have a morning rip, they'll consolidate lunch hours, and then come power hour, they'll make their next move either up or down. See, there's 3 charts right there, but that's all NIO. There's MNKD. And then going back to FinViz, I'll just go into this. I really like this trendline support, trendline resistance, wedges, and triangle ascending, and I'll just glide over and have the little chart pop up to see if there's anything that catches my eye. See, NOVN is in a trendline resistance, and it's at the top of the resistance right now. And then we got a wedge down. That's a big wedge down. Look at that. That's a great pattern, going all the way back to the beginning of the year. You can make money simply just if you're a swing trader playing this pattern over and over and over again. Getting down here at 22, riding it up to 25, sell at the trend line, pulls back, starts moving back up, get in, sell, comes back down, right at the trend line, get in, comes back up to the trend line here, sell, comes down to the trend line, pops up, sell, comes down again, buys, comes up, sell, over and over and over again. That's the type of play you have to have patience for. That's why I've been I know I'm gonna do it. I think within the next couple weeks I'm gonna open up another brokerage account, and I'm gonna have 2 brokerages, one for day trading, and I'm gonna have another one for swinging stocks, more of a longer term investment. Nothing like a year holding, but maybe like a couple weeks or a month that I'm gonna do, and compare and see growing my day trading account and my swing trading account. So I think that will be pretty fun. I should have that up and going here within the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to do that with TD Ameritrade. And then we got channel up here. Haven't reviewed your entire library, but do you have a video about do you journal your trades? I journal my trades. I have a little calendar that I do. I write down every time I take a trade, and then I was also posting my trades on Profitly, but I I didn't really like Profitly too much because I didn't like the way it was set up. I didn't like the way how you could manually put in your trades to manipulate it. I want something that you could actually import your trades to. And I finally found a website to do that, and that is TraderView. TraderVue.com. And it's this right here, where it's simple, fast, and powerful, and it breaks down your trades and statistics. And I think I'm going to sign up with this here and import all my trades from the past year and analyze and show you guys, how I've been doing as a trader. And you could also have a journal in this too, to where every time you make a trade, you can write in the journal and you can go back and look and see how you did. So that's pretty cool with this system, and it's compatible with a lot of brokers. So you can just simply import your file from your broker into this, and it'll transfer everything for you. NGS has a pattern. Let's see. Was that the one I was just looking at right there? Yeah, the ascending down. Yeah, it was a beautiful pattern. See, that's the type of pattern for my swing account that I would be looking for. Simply, let me bring this chart over here so you guys can see. Yeah, this is a beautiful chart, even if you go to the weekly on it. Look at that. It's a beautiful chart on the weekly. Even on the monthly. Yeah, it's like a 5-second, 10-second delay. I have it set up like that so you guys can if someone pops up in here and they want to rewind back to the beginning or something, they could do that. Or rewind back and see what if I said something that they wanted to be repeated. But NGS, yes, is a really great chart here. Let's see. And you wouldn't have found this if it wasn't for FinViz, doing that. So that's why it's always good to check FinViz every day or every week, to see what's new on it. I wouldn't really put a trend line on that, but let's see. Right here going down. And they're going up. So yeah, a lot of opportunity there, but it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. So very bearish stock. It's below all the moving averages, but hey, if on the daily chart it's got a great pattern, take advantage of the pattern. Other traders are doing it, and traders have been taking advantage of this pattern all year. Let's see. Yeah, it's like the same consistent people, it looks like, taking advantage of this because the volume on it isn't much. It's only like 50,000, 70,000, 20,000, 7,000. Let's see here at the top. We got 31, 31,000. And then when it gets to the bottom, 23,000, or no, 50,000, 59,000. So yeah, it's the same people over and over and over again. This is probably the smart money doing this, just recycling it over and over and over again. Let me add another watch list to this. I'll title this one Swing Charts. So swing charts, we got, well, it's towards the end now, but NGS was one, and I liked FNKO, and another one was ODFL. ODFL is a higher price stock. I'm sure you guys seen me talk about it, but this is just a great chart here. Look at that. All the way back from, even going back way over here to 1997, it was at $1.35. And today, it's at 165. So like a 20-year investment, you know, 1,000 shares, it going up $166, $165. It's $165,000. But this has also a great pattern on it as well. Drawing a I already drew out resistance here. Let me make this bigger. Drawing a resistance here, and the support was right here. And then it was in this channel going up and down, up, pulling back, up, down to here, up, broke through this top resistance, went up, came down, broke below the resistance, and then acted as a wall again. And then they released earnings, and it started to downtrend a little. And then you got this long hammer right here where prices got rejected. This is what I like to see, this long wick. Prices got rejected lower. So it's showing me that buying is stepping in and taking control. This is still bullish. And then it starts forming this higher low pattern right here, forming this ascending wedge. It got tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, and it finally broke out of it. Look at that surge up it had. That's the power of patterns and knowing these patterns. Going from $1.50 and surging up to a high of $1.70. A $20 move right there. So let's see. Real quick, let's just do some math. So you got, let's say $2,000, okay? 2,000 divided by 150 is 13. 13 times, what'd it go up? $20 is 260 bucks. Hey, 260 bucks with $2,000 took 1, 2, 3, 4. It took a week to go up that high. So an extra $260 with a little $2,000 investment, you know. Just try to prove something that even if you have a smaller account, you know, it's all in the head about how many shares you can buy. If you have a volatile stock and it moves $20 like this one just did, there's good potential and profit to be made. You know, even a $4,000 investment. That $4,000 would have made you $500. But I did like Funko though, FNKO, and I'm waiting for this to start trending back up or to see if it'll start falling again. This opened last year in 2017 in November at $7. It rallied up to $10 and then pulled back to $6. And then from there on up, it's just grinded up and up and up and up and up to a high of $31. And then recently, this past week, it went from 31 down to $21. So I'm waiting and watching to see what this does. It's bouncing right here at the 50-day. 10% in 1 week, good deal, yeah. A lot of people, when they get into trading, they start to they always look at it as they want to look at it as one trade is going to make them rich. That's not the case. It takes hundreds and thousands of trades to actually get you rich, actually. What is it, 1,000 1,000 winners is $1 million? Is that what it is? Yeah. So 1,000 trades, all it takes is 1,000 trades, and each trade you win $1,000. That's $1 million. So it's not about hitting a home run every single time. You know, I slowly but surely want to grow my account as much as I can. If it's $200, so be it. You know, that's an extra $200 that I've grown my account for the week. You know, most people have to work a whole week to make $200. And a lot of people are ungrateful for how much they can make in the market. I hear people posting all the time, I only made $1,000 this week trading. Next week I'm going to push harder. It's like, you should be proud of yourself for pulling $1,000 out of the market in 1 week. Most people have to work a week, 2 weeks to make that. And you made it in possibly a day. That's great. Keep it up. It's all about having that positive attitude and being grateful for what you got in the market and what you get out of the market. You know, and never take it for granted. And remember, the market is always right. You're not always right. That's why I say I don't ever want to predict what the market's going to do. I want to react to what the market is telling me. And when drawing trend lines and doing technical analysis, it's an art form. It's not a science. And I literally just said that yesterday, and I was trying to finish reading up this book I've been reading, Volume Price Analysis, and I'm towards the end of it. And the girl said, again, you know, doing technical analysis on charting, it's not a science, it's an art, and traders overcomplicate things. They really do. They overthink things a lot. And it's the truth. You know, they want to throw on all these indicators and just litter their charts with just nonsense. Fibonacci, RSI. You know, I don't need RSI to tell me that a stock's oversold. I can clearly see it on the daily chart. You know, I can clearly see right now on this chart it's way overbought. Way overbought. I don't need a lagging indicator to tell me that. All you really need is basic price action, volume, and the basic moving averages. That's it. Level 2, and then doing research every weekend. Having discipline and patience. Patience is very, very big. Very big. Last week I only traded 1 time. You know, getting over the fact that I'm not going to catch every single play. I'm not. So when a big play does happen, I can't be mad at myself because I missed it. You know, I just take it, learn from it, and move on. Move on to the next one. I took 1 trade last week. I made a lousy $50, but it is what it is. I was green on the week. I'm up. It's better than being red, you know. And I just didn't see any setups that I liked, and the setups I did like, I missed them. I missed 2 setups that I had planned out to attack last week, and I missed it. One of them was GEMP. Let me show you real quick. We literally last week did technical analysis on GEMP. And right here, we did technical analysis on GEMP like on Saturday. And Monday comes up and it broke out of this, well, this was Friday. It was in this wedge right here and getting tighter and tighter, and then it finally broke out of this wedge and ran up. Let's see if I can get it on the 15. The 15 minute, it had like a head and shoulders. But this broke out right here, and then it pulled back and it bounced right off of this trend line pretty much. If you imagine this trend line keep going, it bounced at support of this trend line, and it rallied, went from 140 up to 230, pulled back, and then ran and hit a high of 270. I had my eye waiting on this and I missed it. And when I finally seen it, it was like right around in this area. And I told myself I missed it. I'm not going to chase something that's up this much already for it to come crashing back down on me. And that's a lot of what new traders do. They compulsively chase a stock when it's up like this. You got to take a second and look at it real quick. This is the 15-minute chart. This stock has now been, every single candle is 15 minutes. So this candle is up all this time with really no red candles. Why would you buy when there was no green candles? It's due to pull back. And then look what happens. You buy in at 225, it pulls back all the way to 190. That's a 35-cent dip right there. And then it comes right back up to where you bought in, and then it goes and makes a run. So having patience and waiting for pullbacks, you know, it's all a learning process, and it takes time, and you got to put your screen time in to actually see this happening every single day in order to get it. We've now been streaming for over 2 hours now. But this was one of them that I missed, and there was one more that I missed. But was I mad? Not really. Did I have FOMO? A little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Anytime I'll miss a play that I've been keeping an eye on and it makes a big move, I'm gonna have a little bit of FOMO, fear of missing out. So I just gotta tell myself I missed it, move on to the next one. But I think 2 hours is enough for today's video. Make sure you guys study up and prepare yourself for the upcoming week. I'll go over the market one more time. So, real quick, with what I thought about the overall market. So we have the SPY actually move back up and make a new high. Or not, it didn't make a new high, but 2 weeks ago, it pulled back right here. This is the daily, okay? This is the SPY, the overall market. 2 weeks ago, we had this pullback down to this old resistance, which held as support. And then this week, it bounced off of that support and started trending back up. All right? And then this upcoming week, I'd look for it to either break out and make another high, or it's going to pull back and start trending lower. So that could affect the market this week. And then the NASDAQ on the daily is very, very toppy up here, as you can see. This is a triple top. And then it had an ascending triangle right here going up, and it broke that pattern. And now it's free falling currently right now. And the next really support that it has is this 200-day moving average right here. And this is at 86. So it's got a ways to drop if it decides to keep dropping. or it might even hold right here at 89. Yep, no problem, El Toro. So the NASDAQ isn't looking good. It's looking very, very toppy, like I said. Same thing with the SPY. Very, very toppy. If you pull out, this is the long term right here. Every time it's hit, like it comes up to the high here, it didn't break out. And then it finally broke the high, and I'm not seeing any explosive moves up to make a new high. I'm seeing it inch up a little bit to make a high and then pull back. So it could be a sign that we are near a top in the market. Very possibly. And then this is the 5-minute right here on the SPY. So I had a trend line down connecting all the highs here. And then come Monday, we get a gap up open. And then it runs up and then it pulls back. And as you can see, this old resistance here connecting the highs, that was acting as support. And it kept bouncing off that and moving up, as you can see. And then we got a big gap down that day, and the market rallied back up. The market was in good shape last week. It really was. Things were looking good. But when you look at the indexes, it's not looking too healthy to me. But we got the watch list down. If you're just entering the video, make sure you go back and watch this. I know it's long, but it's jam-packed, filled with all kinds of good stuff. Me preparing my watch list for the upcoming week, I do this every single Sunday now. Starting at, I'm going to try to start at noon or 1 o'clock on Sundays. So if you want to prepare and make your watch list, feel free to join me and create this watch list and ask questions. I'm always here to answer questions that you have, any stocks you'd want me to go over. I'm more than happy to go over them for you. So just feel free to comment and ask. But that's it for this one, guys. I did this for 2 hours, and I love doing this. I love looking at charts and breaking stocks down. You know, today we got into SEC filings. We looked at upcoming new IPOs, upcoming earnings, upcoming reverse splits, all kinds of great stuff we looked at. And it's all in this video, and it's going to be available for you guys as soon as this is done. So make sure you go back and check it out. Had a great time with you guys today. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the community. You know, I'm always looking for other people to learn from and talk to and just have fun. You know, I know trading can be a lonely world because no one really around you does this, so you gotta like branch out and interact with other people that are doing this. But I absolutely love doing this. I really do. But until next time, guys, stay patient, stay disciplined, wait for your setups, and study, study, study. Alright, guys. Later.